And as soon as I went in, I was like, I better, she's already worried about bear because she was living in Oklahoma. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tell her about this. Hey, I got the camera set up, and we're sitting there and we had like the little window pulled open. I said, do you need anything? And literally outside, I was talking to her like this, and right outside, less than 30 feet, the loudest pursed lip whoop I'd ever heard in my life. And she got nervous and started talking really fast. I was like, shh. And as I'm shushing her, and again, this is all happening very quickly, the whoop gets a response. And then the response was, again, very specific, but it was farther down, what I would say down French Hill Road now, like farther up the mountain, but not far, maybe a quarter of a mile. You hear this very, very loud, a two-tone whistle. And then somewhere off in the woods, probably a mile away, it sounded a lot farther, was something that when I've interviewed for podcasts and other things, it's hard for me to describe because I can't ascribe it to anything. It sounded metallic. It sounded like somebody, like when we were kids, when you talk into a fan, but then it also sounded primate. And it was like but it had a metallic resonance to it. It's almost like a vibration. Like when you talked into a fan, you would get that whoa, whoa, I am your father, Luke. It was like that, but more metallic. And that's the only thing I can say. It was like a vibrational voice. And she was freaked out. I was freaked out. She's like, no, don't. I was like, what? She goes, they'll hear us talking about them. I said, who? And then she shut up. And to this day, this individual, that's why I'm not going to name this individual. She doesn't want to be a part. She doesn't want her name attached to this, but she was there. So there was a corroborator. And the next morning, I would paste that out. I would find that branch. And when I measured it, where that branch was bouncing through the eyes was 12 feet in the air. And it's just, I'm glad whatever it was that had those eyes that I couldn't see it, because I don't know what I would have done. I mean, when I was tired, I'd driven all the way from Boise that day, 500, I think it was 500 miles. And so I was exhausted and ready for bed, but I know what I saw. She was there for the next 3 days. So in those next 3 days, she also heard them scream. We heard them, they were in the area when we came in. But that night, that was the last that we heard of them.